Liverpool have definitely put in their first bid of £60 million for JOAO. PALHINHA. Hello everyone, and thank you for being part of this, and make it a point subscribe, ring that notification bell so you do not miss out on whatever we've definitely got to bring to you, as long as it is sports and as long as it is Liverpool related. Right about here at the Liverpool chapter with me, your host Abu Kals, as we talk sport definitely right here. We definitely give you the latest trade as it comes in, as long as it is Liverpool related. Anyway, while we're talking about who's this football player and why is he a hot cake, it will be remembered that JOAO PALHINHA has been playing for Fulham, and if you've been following the Premier League last season, definitely Liverpool was playing quite well. It didn't start quite well, but with time it definitely picked up on a few games. But Fulham definitely did quite great, and the fact that Fulham was coming from relegation and it didn't go back to relegation, and not only did it not go to relegation, but it had a comfortable position in the Premier League title, the Premier League table. So you definitely can see how good the club was, and that's why very many clubs are looking at getting football players from Fulham. And one of the clubs that is looking at getting players from Fulham is none other than Liverpool. And I will remember that Jurgen Klopp actually cited this gentleman and said a few things about this gentleman last month. That's when he started saying things about this gentleman, that he's most likely going to end up at Liverpool. And the technical director at Liverpool Football Club, and also the agent of JOAO, what's his other name? PALHINHA. JOAO PALHINHA definitely have come in contact and have come and said a few words, a few things about this transfer, and we think things are going on quite well. So with the fact that this gentleman is a defensive midfielder, and we know a defensive midfielders at the main defensive midfielder. The main defensive midfield at Liverpool is definitely looking for a move away from Liverpool. There is a big possibility that Fabinho will not be. Fabinho is not going to be at Liverpool the coming season, and that's why there is a bit of a panic in there. Anyway, JOAO PALHINHA is a very wonderful one, and we need to talk about who he is and things like that. So, who is JOAO PALHINHA? So, his full name is Joao Maria Lobo Alves PALHINHA, and this one is a bit complicated one. Goncalves. It's got quite many names. For some reason, Portuguese always have those long names. So, Joao Maria Lobo Alves PALHINHA Goncalves is a Portuguese professional football player who plays for Premier League club Fulham, and also the Portugal national team as a defensive midfielder. He came through Sporting, and also first appearing with the first team in 2017, and also having loans at Mariones and also Belenenses and Braga. Definitely he played quite well when he was over there. Then you will remember that this gentleman was born on the 9th of July, and that was in 1995, and that makes him 27 years. He was born in Lisbon, Portugal, and current teams, obviously that's the Portugal national team, and also Fulham, which he's been playing quite well. And we'll remember that he joined Fulham in August of 2018, and he was from Braga when he joined Fulham. August. Actually, no, he joined Fulham 2022, and he joined Braga 2018. Anyway, he is a brilliant one, and I think Liverpool could be, if they get, because Liverpool is looking for a defensive midfielder, one who will definitely fit in quite well, with the fact that Fabinho could be leaving the club. There are loads, he's been linked to quite a number of clubs, but also he's had quite a big workforce on him, and Jurgen Klopp is looking at narrowing down, making the squad even better and bigger, but also narrowing down the number of games that Fabinho is playing, because he's playing quite a big number of games, and they could be affecting his ability, and that's why he wants to have better options. If Fabinho definitely goes, he can be a good one also in there, but also he can be a better option in case Fabinho definitely stays. So let us know what you definitely think about this gentleman. We need to see his statistics. Obviously, as a defensive midfielder, we do not expect him to score quite a lot of goals, but we definitely expect him to score maybe 1 or 2 goals. And definitely, as a defensive midfielder, if he scores 1 or 2 goals, it's definitely okay. It's all right, because that's not his job. And when you see how he's been playing, his defensive tactics are definitely quite good. And he can be sometimes multi-purpose. Sometimes he'll play as a central midfielder, and on rare occasions he will be an attacking midfielder. But his main thing is defensive midfield, and he plays quite well the defensive midfield. And when you've seen Fulham play against other big clubs, definitely you've realized that he as a person, JOAO PALHINHA, as a football player, he's always stood out exceptional and played quite well. That's why there is big competition for JOAO PALHINHA between Manchester United, Spurs, Tottenham Spurs, and also Liverpool. And whom we need to be realistic and see who is going to take this football player, who is most likely going to take this young lad. Manchester United are willing to put in the cash with Liverpool already putting in their first bid of £60 million. We could be seeing Manchester United putting in their bid also, which could possibly be higher. So this is a transfer that should be inspected quite keenly, because Liverpool do not want to miss out on a football player like him. Because let's see for the clubs that he's played, and let's start from Sporting. He did not score any. I actually scored only one goal at Sporting. And he managed to play 17 games in 2014, one game in 2016, then 2017, 2018, two games. But he only scored one goal, which is okay, which is definitely okay. Then when he went to Braga, he's managed to score. In 2018, 2020, in 23 appearances, he scored 2 goals, and then 2 goals again in 27 appearances. And also that was in 2019 and then 2020. Anyway, let's see against Sporting. He scored 3 goals before he just left, which was in 2021, so in 2022, in 27 appearances, and he's played quite well. 11 passes on from 2016 to 2022. Passes on, he's played 11 games, 2 games, 32 games, and 27 games. Look at it this way: you're not going to play almost all games if you're not performing well. That means he had the confidence, and the manager also had the confidence in him to play all those games. And for the Portugal national team, he's just played 2 in the qualifiers, and in the World Cup he's played 3 times, and he's had World Cup qualifiers playing 8 games, and also managed to score a wonderful 2 goals. Then at Fulham, definitely last season actually he's played more than 30 games, and scored 3 goals. Definitely he's played quite well. It's been a very wonderful one. Managing to play more than 30 games, that definitely shows you that the manager has a lot of confidence in him. And I mean a lot of confidence, because he's definitely come out and showed that he can perform. He can definitely do better than even how he is doing. And if he gets I know Liverpool, I must say, Fulham is a good club. I must say, Fulham is a good club. It's a big club, but you can't compare it with the likes of Liverpool. So if he needs to put if he needs to move an extra mile in his football career, he needs to get to a bigger club like Liverpool, and which will bring him even bigger chances, and he can play with big football players. And also, at least maybe he will be looking at winning possibly the Premier League title at one point in time. And that's why we think that it's not a good decision for him to remain at Fulham, no matter what. Fulham performed very well, but it's not going to be in the top four for quite a big amount of time. I don't think Fulham is going to be, because one, they do not have the money. They've got a few good football players, but they do not have the money to buy class and quality. So they've got to stick to the football players they have, and for some reason, possibly they can perform better, but not. I don't see excellency at the club. I don't see them finishing in top four this season or even the coming season. But they could comfortably maybe be again. They could be in the first half of the Premier League. They could be around there, around the first half possibly. But I think it's going to be a brilliant one. It's going to be a good one. Just let us know what you think about JOAO PALHINHA, him getting to the club Liverpool. And I personally think it's going to be a very great opportunity. It's going to be a good opportunity for him to join the club. And also it's going to be a great opportunity for Liverpool to have him, because if they have him as another option, I mean, you need to see who is on the bench of your club, and you're proud of who is on the bench of the club, and you're like, this football player can come from the bench and make a big impact. And if you're to compete, that's what you definitely need as a stone spanner, because when you look at the likes of other clubs, okay, let's say Man City, they've got quite a broad squad with almost even everybody who is on the bench is definitely fierce. You can see if they have Malice on the table, on the bench. If they have Malice on the bench, definitely he will come and make a big impact. He will definitely come and make a big impact off the bench. And when you see the likes of Phil Foden not starting a game, you definitely know once he's in, he's going to make a big impact. And that's why Liverpool definitely needs making the squad broad, and not only being broad, because some clubs like Chelsea have had big squads, but they have not managed to deliver. And for some reason, I think you need class, and also quite a good manager. You need a good manager, a manager that is going to bring quite a lot to the club, a manager that is going to bring positive change, make sure that the club is progressing, bringing positive results to the club. I mean, when no Liverpool fan possibly thought Liverpool's going to end in the position it did the last season, because when the season was starting, Liverpool was playing very bad. It wasn't the best at all. It wasn't the best at all. But with time, Jurgen Klopp coped up, and it wasn't so bad. Anyway, I think for Liverpool to get to a much better position, that's why they need. Liverpool definitely needs football players like this young lad, like this young gentleman, JOAO PALHINHA, and the fight for this football player, the fight for JOAO PALHINHA is definitely, as I told you before, is between Manchester United, Liverpool, and Tottenham Hotspurs. And I think Tottenham Hotspurs could be ruled out at this point in time, but not 100%. We could rule it out maybe at 80%. But Manchester United and Liverpool are the top clubs that are targeting this young football player, making sure that he could definitely end up at their clubs. But with Manchester United, they always have a delay game. They do not buy there and then. They always try and wait and see how things go, who has bought. And that's what Liverpool needs to take as an advantage and get this football player, as Manchester United is still trying to see which other clubs which players other clubs have bought. Liverpool should come in and take this gentleman, because he is a wonderful talent. I must say, he is a big football player and has played for quite very many clubs, and he's played against many clubs. And when he's been at Fulham, he's definitely played at the defensive midfield for Fulham quite well, and that's why Fulham definitely has been performing very well of recent. And I think once he joins Liverpool, it's going to be a good thing for the club and also for him. So let us know where you are watching from, which part of the world are you watching from. Just make it a point to subscribe and ring that notification bell so that you do not miss out on whatever we've definitely got to bring to, as long as it is sports and as long as it is Liverpool related, right about here at the Liverpool chapter with me, your host Abu Kaus, as we've been talking about JOAO PALHINHA, who is a Fulham midfield football player. He's a good midfielder, a defensive midfielder, and he is willing to he himself is willing to join Liverpool. Paperwork has to be accomplished and the cash has to be put in, as looks like his contract will be ending around 2025 with Fulham, so there could be quite a lot more money that could be needed, as the first bid has been £60 million for Liverpool. Anyway, thank you for being part of this, and please subscribe.